Yo! What's up, y'all? Welcome to the beginning of fall season 2023. I hope that y'all are excited for this one. Got an interesting format on our hands this time around. Some things have been shaken up in terms of how the tournament's being run, so I hope that it makes for a very interesting season. I've been looking forward to seeing it ever since the original announcement of how they are to be shown. So I am excited for it personally. Also, I need to remember, gotta pause redemptions on stuff. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do any timeouts and all that sort of thing for these streams. But hopefully, you guys still enjoy. I thought I'd take a few minutes just to kind of explain how the tournaments are being run. So I guess I can maybe go in-game. Maybe that's the best way to do it. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So right here it says, maybe I should move my webcam down. But it says that there will be 3 preview skill tournaments. Up to 2 teams in each qualifier will directly advance to the professionals tournament. So what this is saying is that instead of our normal 4 preview skills that are 2 days each, there are going to be 3 preview skill tournaments, and each of them are going to be 3 days long. The final day is going to have 2 groups instead of normally on NA it's like 4 or 5. On EU it's probably way more than that. And yeah, so there are going to be 2 groups on the final day, which means 2 winners will be moving on, and every time that you win a preview skill you immediately qualify for top 8. And you do not have to play the rest of them. So as things move on, you know, the 2 top teams from this preview skill won't be playing for PYS 2 or PYS 3, so maybe things will be a little bit more competitive as teams fight for the top spots. If you've done the math, though, you may realize it's 2 teams for 3 PYS. That only makes 6 teams. And that would be a good observation that you would have made, because, yes, that means that there are 2 more teams. And how are they going to be determined for top 8? And to that, we have this right here, which is a graphic that shows how the cups are going to be this time around. This is different than before. This is a new graphic. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, for a day 1 preview skill, you get 5,200, 4,900, 46, 4,300, depending on how well you do. Stage 2, you know, the teams that move on, 3,600, 3,400, 3,200, and 3K. And then stage 3 is going to be, 2,000, 1,600, 1,300, 900, and then 5th through 8th get that many. But I don't know if that's how it's going to work on NA. I don't know how many teams are going to be in each group. I know for today there's only 3 teams per group, and I did want to go over the teams really quickly, but I don't know how much time we have. But if I go to the chatting scene and maybe see if I can pull that up really quickly. We have 36 teams on NA. And yes, I can pull them up, so we'll go back to share the screen, and we'll go from bottom in terms of win rate all the way up to the top. So, WEHSS, PT2K, I guess I can put my webcam back on, all the way down here it looks like. BLKTM, K8, Ace, Cursed, Sigan, Tier, Crack, INQ. As that loads, CCRS, Vin, Covet, Nexo, VU, Lovey, Zen, BS, 77X, THL, we're starting to get up there in terms of win rate already, Crocked, Hated, Ghost, Gosu, Purple, Kurga, Ponda, Straight, Elev, starting to get to our real top teams, Reggie, Joker, 7ALC, Leverage, Naps, and Origin. So, very impressive. We've got 3 teams that have 70% win rate that are here, so got some strong teams this season. A lot of returning and a lot of new teams as well. 7ALC, although I believe they're 7 clip. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really looked at them. They're new. CRGGA new. Purple, kind of new. They're just returning. Gosu. I don't know if they competed last season. Ghost is new. is returning. They've got a new team though. So we'll see some new competition this time around, and I am excited for that. But that is what I wanted to show there. I'm going to go to the just chatting scene. I'm going to see if I've gotten my invite yet. Which, it looks like I haven't. Oh boy. I don't know if I'm just not watching a group early on or what. Because I know who I'm supposed to be streaming, but if I didn't get an invite yet, that is vaguely concerning. Okay, I'll message Tolian real quick. So, we'll see. Let's see. Alright, she has been notified. But that is actually vaguely concerning that I did not receive an invitation. She is typing. We'll see what she says. So I guess I can show who I'm supposed to be streaming, which will be ideally maybe we're just getting a buy on the first one, which is I suppose possible. We are to be watching Group 9 here, which is Ace, Hated, and Purple. Oh, maybe okay, Tolian's telling me the matches are slightly later, so maybe I'll get my invite in like a minute now. Is that possible? Maybe? Yeah, it's at 03. Normally it's not. We'll see if I get my invite, I suppose. We'll keep you posted on that. I mean, I guess you'll see it in just a second here. But I'll say hello to chat. In the meantime, we got Wow Bow, that's what she said. Shadow Mist, Jim, Carl, Trath, Jarrett, Andy. Not done. Vaban. I think I said hi to Jim. Not done. Okay, I did get my invite. We're go. Alright, we're good. I'll text Tolian that we're good. I feel bad that I texted her now because it's 1 a.m. probably for her, or even later, 2 a.m. We're good. Okay, we did get our invite, so that means I'm gonna hide it. Let's make sure that it's the right invite that I'm expecting it to be. If I go to chatting, I don't want to show this before it's time. Yes, we're watching Hated versus Ace. Let's go. Tolian did me right. It's just that the timing of the match was changed slightly, and that was something I was not expecting, because normally it's right on the hour for the first match. But we're good. We're good. Are you late? No, you're just on time. Matches are starting in about 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Thank you, Tolian. Appreciate you. Sorry to cause the panic. I didn't get my invite because they pushed it back a couple minutes. I think it's funny, though, that's what she said in the chat. Says, who are you following? Do people want to watch day one? I am watching your group, so I hope that you would like to watch if you're not playing, but I hope that you focus on playing if you are playing. Anyway, this game is Hated versus Ace, and I guess we can quickly look at both of the teams. So let me pull those up really quickly. We've got Ace here, which is led by Big Little Nego. We've got Diego, Poseidon, Gladiator, Hades, Demiurgo, Macho Destroyer, Henry, and Koringa. And then for the Hated team, we have Zombie, Zaza Slime, Tobayashi, Undefeated, Tanks Go Boom Boom, Ghosty, Tyrannos, Blue Danube, and the Austin Boy. So these are your two teams. Hated has been around for a bit, but it looks like there's a lot of new members on the team. Some old members, a lot of new members. And as for Ace, they're a team that I have not actually heard of before. So we'll see how good that they are tonight. But this is going to be our lineup here, and I actually do have logos for this time around. I did kind of make one up for Ace last minute because I don't actually have contact with anybody on that team, but hopefully this isn't too bad until I somehow make contact with one of them. But anyway, here we are, and our first map is going to be Alpenstadt here for games number 1 and 2. I didn't see what we're doing for game 3 if it does come to that. This is going to be a best of 3, and we will be seeing new meta as well. The 10.3 update that just came out changed up pretty much every single tier 10 in the game, and so we're going to be seeing a lot of new ones in here. 95E6 has never been meta before, despite what some YouTubers may tell you about how good they were. They're not nearly as good back then, but they are pretty good now. See Chieftain on Ace's side as well, a tank that is newly coming into the meta. IS-7 was rebalanced. It was in the meta before, but now it is different, better I would say, in receiving tungsten shells among other changes. The Bat Chat, a new one, kind of replacing the Sheridan as the light tank with the most view range in the game. It also got an alpha damage buff, which helped its clip tremendously. Those are the only new tanks that I see in the meta. 60TP got a slight rework, it got more alpha damage. Kronvon got faster, and there are other changes that I could get into the details of, and I suppose I could pull up the sheet and talk about all the changes exactly, but I don't think that's entirely necessary. But yeah, these are the two teams. This will be the first match of the fall tournament, and from my understanding, no one on Asia or EU streams today, so technically this is the first stream for the entire tournament, which is a weird thing to think about considering how late NA is compared to the other time zones, but that's how it is. So this is the first stream of the fall season 2023. Hope that y'all are hyped for this one. I think this should be a more close day one than others, just because I think Hated and Purple they're both new teams, sort of. I mean, Hated's not really a new team, but I would put them around more equal skill level than some of the other groups. Anyway, I have a new feature that I wanted to add for this stream, and that is map intros. So we're going to be seeing the Alpenstadt intro, and I'll be doing this in all other maps going forward. And here we are, y'all. Game number 1 of the Blitz Stellar Cup about to begin here. We've got Hated on Team Red. Oh, I didn't reset the score from last season entirely. Unless I was doing some sort of testing with those numbers. Oopsie. Scores do not seem to be resetting, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to work on that. I'm gonna do that manually, which is kind of annoying actually, but well, let's take a look at what the teams are doing first, maybe before we make that take away all of our attention. We can do this in the meantime. But what it looks like we've got going on right now is the Ace team is all lined up in the town. Chieftain, 60 TPs, IS-7s, all together of them, and then even their STB being the only tank away. He is doing some spotting over on the A side, whereas Hated's double IS-7s have already captured the A base. And they are starting to back off. No. Zombie pushing forward for the T95E6. He would like to get early pressure, and he does put a shot into the STB, who's already starting to bleed. Looking back towards the town where Ace is trying to make most of their claim. Being held back by the Kronvons. And while Ace do finally get the C base, these Kronvons kind of preventing Ace from making any further push. Tobayashi in a nice spot where if he does get pushed on, there's plenty of tanks in the back that are quite safe that would be willing and able to support him and deal plenty of damage into Ace if they were to go for that push here. Hated is making moves towards Ace's spawn, though they've already got 3 tanks lined up in there. Ace starting to get themselves surrounded. It looks like the IS-7s, Chieftains all turned around, but not necessarily in a position to be able to deal with it just yet. That's going to buy time for the rest of Hated to move forward. You can see the Kron Von moving up, Ghosty in the T95E6. They're going to be pushing forward here, and Ace has given up map control here. Hated completely surrounding, going 3 tanks on one side, 3 on the other. Zaza right in the middle. Boom Boom's going to make his own rotation. He can afford to do that. He is in a bat chat and has plenty of space to work with, whereas Ace lined here in the town, they don't have a lot of moves that they can make right now. They're going to have to either push one location and potentially get farmed out in the side by the other location, or they're just going to have to sit here and get choked out. If they don't make a move, Hated is winning on the caps, so Ace will lose the game based on that if nothing occurs. But looking at these double crons here, look at this sneaky little trap that they've got set up in case Ace tries to go for capping the B base, for example, which could be a big mistake if they do try to go for it. But Tobiyashi Undefeated do get spotted here. I believe that was, yes, the STB. Was that the STB? It's hard to say what did that. I think it was the STB, but because he did get lit himself as well, but he could have gotten hit by a zombie or slime if he moved too far forward. So I think it was the STB that yeah, he did. He poked up like that. Okay. So the Crown ones were spotted. Ace does know what is up there, but what they don't know is the sneaky position of the Batchet here all the way around. So if Ace does decide to go for a push, that is even more guns that they will have to push into. And still no moves being made here, which is interesting. Nago is turning himself around, getting himself out of there, but he's already bled a little bit. His teammates have mostly bled it all. For the most part, Hated is untouched. Zaza's taken 2 hits. 2 other tanks have taken a hit. But Ace needs to make a move here, and they are down on the hit points. And STB, not always the best pushing tank. He gets spotted here by Ghosty, and he has to sit behind this rock to hide himself. Ghosty just locking him down here. But it looks like the rest of Hated is here to support the Kron Vons to get pushed. And yes, Ace is rotating back that way. Several of the tanks being spotted. That's time for Zombie and Slime all the way on the other side of the map to move forward. Ace are all grouped together, you can see in the mini-map. Hated is still a little bit spread right now, but they are getting really good bleeds. These Kron Vons are clipping Poseidon out, bouncing a couple shots there. They're both empty. This would be Ace's one opportunity to make a play, as both of these Kron Vons are empty, but there are still plenty of other tanks that Hated has that are able to get the support, and the Chieftains activating the reactive. They're going right through into Zaza here. They are able to pick up a kill. They will take the cap lead, but look at Hated, Slime and Zombie coming into the side. If they get a pick on Hades, who is the most vulnerable tank right now, he could get picked off here, and that would be a win for Hated. But they do get the kill on Gladiator instead. Zaza traded, so it's a 6-on-6, but Demiurgo goes down 990 points for Hated, and Hades gets picked off as well, so Hated getting 3 kills, losing 1 tank. Able to secure game 1 there. The nice hold, Ace took a little bit too long to push, and by the time they did, Hated had them surrounded. And yeah, so a bit of a failed push there from Ace. Waited a little bit too long, allowing Hated to take that game. I'm going to take a brief moment here to see if I can get that scoreboard thing fixed. I believe I know exactly what caused it. I did a bit of a file migration not too long ago. Because of a new SSD that I had, and I wanted to move my files from one SSD to another. Hopefully this should work. So sorry about those Windows noises, but hopefully this should work. Sorry, I guess I didn't test that button, which I thought I would have done. But if I make the score something crazy, maybe it'll work. I don't know. Does it work? Yes, okay. New scoreboard works. We're good. Sorry about that. Kind of took away my attention from the opening of the game, which I should definitely be paying attention to, but always have a technical difficulty. Predictions tonight? I don't think I don't know. Do I have a mod on? Was a prediction put in the chat? No, there was no prediction. It's alright, we'll do it for the next one if a mod is able to do so. Anyway, 15 seconds till the next one. And Hated running a similar lineup with 95E6, 97, but they do include a new tank. The VK90, also buffed with the new 10.3 update. Its armor was improved, as well as getting a new mechanic, the battle stabilization, which the VZ55 introduced previously. So that's a new thing that the VK has, and honestly I think it suits the VK quite well. So it'll be an interesting tank to see, the first time we see it in comp in a very long time. And here we go. Pretty standard lineup on the ace side of things. Once again, rocking double I7, Chieftain, 60 DP, and an SCB to round things out. And this time, ace is still going to be mostly in the town, but they're not going to fully... yeah, this is kind of the same thing, where they send all their heavies to town and their med a little further away. Hated going to be more set up in the town this time than last game, though. The two teams will find each other here. Momentarily going to spot each other. Yet Macho, Ghosty, Zombie, and the 95E6 is getting hulled down across from Chieftains. I will say the T95E6, despite having many strengths, hull down isn't necessarily one of them, considering that giant, cupola that you can see. Granted, its armor has been buffed a little bit, the cupolas, and it can bounce a shell or two here or there, but would not necessarily call it the strongest hull down tank. Also, Tobayashi is getting hit hard. Looked like he pushed a little bit too far forward there. Demiurgo, Diego, Hades all put shots in. Tobayashi getting a little aggro there, but Hades not really in a position to support him right now, and the IS-7s from Ace are going to be going straight on in. Demiurgo puts in another shot. Diego's going to go right around for Tobayashi, and he will get the pick off here. Does so. Takes a hit from Zaza, but that's well worth the kill. And the rest of Ace pushing into the T95E6s immediately. They're both on half health, so some awkward focus fire here, but looks like they have isolated the target, but Gladiator getting ammo racked. High hit points in that Chieftain. Ghosty able to pick up a kill before going down. Now Demiurgo getting flanked by the Batchat, getting a little bit low as Ghosty does finally go down, but Ace is up 2 tanks at the moment. Demiurgo still quite low, but he's not in an immediate danger. Nego is going to be chasing Boom Boom as he tries to go for the kill on Demiurgo, but the rest of Ace is now getting in the fight. Demiurgo is going to try to put one big shell in. Does so. That's all that you can really ask for a tank on that few hit points. Boom Boom misses the shot. He'll have one more opportunity to get the kill. He does. But now Zaza is flanked by the STB. He goes down. It's a 5-on-3. Slime seems to be the next target here. And yeah, it's not going to be very easy for Hated to bring this one back. They're just simply lacking the hit points here and the guns. And although Hated will get picked, Diego, Nego, Poseidon, all there. Macho even going to sneak in a shot. No, not quite. But it's Tyrannos' turn while Macho goes to chase Boom Boom, keep him away from the fight, and Boom Boom is going for those sneaky track shots, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough, and he puts one more shell in, doesn't quite connect, but Macho gets that kill. Tyrannos gets picked up right before I could switch to his POV, and Ace will equalize, so we are going to go to a tiebreaker here, and I was not familiar with Ace's game before today, but I am glad to see that we get a tiebreaker right away. And we will see how this next one goes. Also have to say hello in the chat to everyone who's just tuning in. Ross, Keegan, Army Lover, USA, Ezekiel. And who else? I think I said Outlaw, Kaiser, Toxic. We'd have y'all in here. And there you go, Poseidon on top. And funny enough, Ghosty, despite being one of the first to die, did the most damage because he did get that big ammo rack on Gladiator Killer, which was quite funny. Well, here we are with the score evened up, and Hellas is going to be the tiebreaker map, and we're going to see perhaps some new tanks here. It doesn't look like Ace is changing much, except getting rid of their IS-7s, instead bringing in a Super Conk and a Kronvon potentially. We'll see. Hated making a couple changes as well, but we are seeing similar tanks for the most part. They're going to bring an STB of their own now instead of the Batchat. Oops, and I forgot to put us back to the normal scene here. Three chieftains for Ace and a super conqueror, so getting rid of a 60 as well. I don't know what they're doing. They're still making changes. We've got 30 seconds left to go. But Hellas, an interesting map where the heavy side has two maps right next to each other. They, in fact, both have pretty much line of sight with each other. Not in all areas, but in some areas, the two caps have line of sight with each other, so it can be a big point of contention. And it seems like both teams are going to be using chieftains to try to fight that hull down area out in the middle, have that reactive armor, that nice DPM, and gun depression to be able to hold that middle area. But in fact, both of them running very similar lineups, so we'll see how this one goes. Here's Hellas. And here we are, nearly mirror lineups across the board, which is quite funny. 60 TP, 3 chieftains, like STB and a Kron Vaughn, whereas Hated has a second Kron, and Ace has a super conch. But other than that, identical lineups, which is quite funny. It seems like, even though, you know, this is a new meta, it seems to be very, like, defined in terms of what these teams have learned so far. They both learned the same exact things. This is a quite symmetrical map. I am surprised to see, though, that Ace is not taking their triple chieftains in between A and B. They're only going to hold that with a 60 and a super conqueror, whereas Hated has a couple tanks of their own here, but they've taken a much more aggressive position with them. No shots being traded yet, but Ace has all 3 of their chieftains at C. They're all stacked up right next to each other. Or, I guess close enough to each other. Maybe not all right next, but Tobiyashi being spotted all the way back in the TD position, and he is getting shot at by the Kron Vaughns from the side. They do get spotted, and yep, Tobiyashi will take a couple hits. Not all of them will connect and do full damage here, but this tells Hated that Ace has 3 of their heavies all out and away, and that's going to mean that they're going to push forward here. Zaza taking front lines here with the Chieftain, and in comes Slime and Zombie pushing with their reactive. Zombie immediately taking 1200, falling back. That reactive probably saved him from another couple hundred damage of his own, but Ace are rotating immediately. They're going to be coming in from the side, and although Hades is taking a lot of damage and he will go down soon, he will put another... Oh, he gets the kill on Zombie there. That was a huge miss from Zombie. If he hit that shot, he would still be alive, but went straight in the ground, so the Super Conqueror does pick up a kill. Slime going to be the next target. Nego hiding all the way back in the STB, and in come the rest of Ace to go for a counter push play here. In comes Macho with the reactive armor. No one cares about shooting him, though. Demiurgo and Nego both do go down. Hated pushing around with the STB, and now has a good angle on the counter pushers from Ace, who are starting to back up now. Macho, who originally activated his reactive and pushed forward, is now falling back. Slime does get picked off here, so Ace aren't out of it yet. It is a 5-on-4, but Diego is now in a bit of a crossfire situation here. It gets taken out very quickly by the Krons and STB. And Gladiator, who was trying to go for a bit of a distraction here, is not going to help out. Tobiyashi will be able to help take care of Macho and Poseidon. I'm confused why they're not going for the shots on Macho. Tobiyashi would rather go for damage here, I guess, which is an interesting play, but that's fine. It doesn't matter at this point. It's 8k HP versus 1k. And down goes last tank, and it looks like Poseidon's got his teammate's turret on him, causing all that damage bleed, which is unfortunate, but the hat did look very good on him, if I do say so myself. Down he goes. Hated's going to take it 2-1. Congrats to them on winning their first set of the season. Of course, Ace isn't out of it yet. This is a double elimination group, I believe. But I will point out, actually, to y'all that one thing I failed to mention earlier on is that only one team from each group, to my knowledge, is making it out today. So either Hated or Purple or Ace, but not all, 2 of them. Oh, looks like I forgot to mute my alerts. Thank you for the follow, Giuseppe. I appreciate you. I should definitely have those muted, though, just to not distract me or distract you. I'm going to replay it and make sure that worked. Looks like it did. Thank you again for the follow. But there we go, guys. Hated 2-1 over Ace, and although I hadn't heard of Ace, they did put up a good fight. But Hellas definitely worked out better for Hated. Ace was a little bit too split up there, having all those heavies, and yeah, they simply just couldn't bring it back. But there we go, y'all. That was the first set. And if we take a look at the tournament, we can see when the next one is, and hopefully I don't message Tullian for no reason because I got the times wrong, which, by the way, thank you again if you're here, and that's my fault. I won't do that again now that I know. Okay, so the next set's at 9:35, so it's going to be in about 12 minutes. I have time for a couple games here. You ever show up from the Tankers POV? I can do that. I like to fly in the sky to see everything, but I can show up from the Tankers POV, yeah. But yeah, if y'all are doing predictions, this is the next set we're going to see. Purple versus Hated at 9:35 Eastern plus 3 minutes delay. So 9:38 is when the prediction should end. Thanks, mods. I love y'all. Thighs and Lomo, thanks for being here. And if I missed someone else, I can't see all the icons, so yeah. GG's. I'm going to go ahead and play a couple games real quick. Back to the in-game scene. You guys can see my face again. And it looks like Skirmish just came out today. I was playing Realistic yesterday. I was grinding the new line. I'm on the tier 9 right now, just getting close to finishing it up here. I've got 141k XP. It costs around 180, some 40 left to go. So I guess we can do that, play some Skirmish. I played a couple games of Skirmish this morning, but not really a whole lot. Seems like my head's got like a crease on it that I don't think is supposed to be there. You can kind of tell it's showing on camera a little bit. It's a little weird. If it looks too weird, maybe I'll switch to the other hat, but I don't think it's too bad. My webcam's small anyway. But yeah, I do like grinding in 5v5. It's nice and quick. The games are fast. And of course, when you're grinding game modes, you don't really have to worry about your performance too much. The only time you really have to worry about your performance is if you have boosters on or like a ×3 or something and you want to make sure you don't waste it on a crappy game. Which I have a ×2, but nothing huge. I'm in the middle of all of them right now, which is a little awkward. None seem to be looking directly at me, although the 62 is peeking now and then. And the E50 is, of course, looking as well. Yeah, he gets a nice one in me. Good roll as well. 405 is quite high for the E50, whose average is now 340. And my turret was broken, so I couldn't put in a shot. But I can sneak these in. I'm realizing this now, so I'll do that. I'm not going to fix my turret. Is this guy really going to roll up and over? That's crazy. We're capping out. We're at 65 cap. We're at 80 cap. I'm just going to run. Just do this. 90 cap. We are going to cap out, aren't we? 98, 99, 100. We'll take it. He says, bruh. That's quite funny. And that's the other fun thing about Realistic is cap goes up twice as fast. So you can just do that. Unfortunately, that means I get my ×2 without doing as much damage as I could have, but that's not a bad game right there. 2400 is more than I thought I did. Because I was just sitting in the middle for the first bit, but we'll take it, right? We'll take it. Yeah, sure. Only 600 XP, but win's a win, I guess. Yeah, that wasn't very good. That was actually really bad. I got more than that earlier, and I was playing a regular skirmish game without the times, too. But I guess it makes sense since it was a cap-out game. Oh well. Don't care that much. Thanks, Thighs, for running the prediction. Appreciate you. Got my avatar OMG. It's funny. It's OG Paradox. He was in Apex for the clan event. I got lit somehow. What the fuck? I am surprised that I got lit, but fair enough. They're in encounter cap. It's the Prague. -7 misses his shell. Wish the I-7 would get the kill. He does so. Good. Who's that? That's the Ritter. Their team kind of needs help. Everyone, the 268's doing nothing. Oh, there's the Ritter. Yeah, 268's doing nothing right now. Now the IS-7's bailing out on that side. Okay, interesting. So what's... Oh, the Pattons are also bailing. Okay, so I'm fucked. Yeah. The IS-7 just let them flank. Okay. Whatever. That's weird. I thought he was dealing with those guys. But... You do you, Mr. Rico 701. Hopefully we can still pull a win. And pulled out a little too far. It gets super lucky though. 268's on 1. This is winnable. Nope, Ritter gets the Patton. Oh, and now he's gonna get the... No, he misses. 268 gets the VK. It's winnable, but I don't really know if I have much faith in this duo. Patton's going for the 268. He's gonna die. Say Patton or Ritter. I believe in Rico, maybe. I don't know if I do. Whoop! Ghost shell there. It's doable. Ritter keeps backing up. Yeah, I think we'll win. I-7 lets this guy around. And the I-7 blocks the shot of the 268. Is he gonna die for that? The IS-7 gun blocks the 268. That is hilarious. And yeah, we lose now. That's tough. There you go. There you go. That's funny. Unfortunately, my tank's gonna be locked in here until this game ends, so... Yep. Okay, thankfully it ends quickly. The IS-7 really did the only thing that let us lose, was he let the guy get around him, and he gun blocked his teammate. That's funny. I believed in him for a minute there, but yikes. That was funny. That is so funny. That's a funny result. Okay. Well, we should be able to fit this one more game in, because the next set starts in 8 minutes. But I don't see us living longer than like a few. Because these are usually quick games. That one was a little bit longer than normal because of the tense ending. Well played to the Ritter, though, for 1v2ing. I will give that up. I will give that up. Lots of interesting games when you play Skirmish. And even though it's not a big deal, you know, you lose a game, it's like, well, who cares? Yeah, I tried to break his gun. Unfortunately, I don't see myself surviving very long here if I stay there, just because of a Badger and a 215B. I can help deal with these 2-year 9s though. This guy's got the small gun. And of course the 215B is also here. And the 7.7 goes down as well. Interesting. I got the track shot, but it seems like he's going to... No, he's not going back down. Instead, they play aggressively for the Tortoise, which I was going to help with the Badger, but I think the I-7... Oh, never mind then. He's letting me get farmed now. That bounce... That did. That bounced. Oh, and our mouse is camping. Okay. We have a camping mouse. Just realized that. If I push around here... Do I die? No. Wish I saved that guy a second earlier, but it is what it is. Hopefully we're okay here. It's okay, he's joining the fight a little late. I don't really want to join the fight. I don't have to. Does he fire? No. Okay. Well, we win. He's just chilling in the boat. I'll just cap. I do not care. I'm not going to try to push that. I know that I'm not going to be able to kill him. Maybe a teammate might. He shot his gun. I will give it a peek. Bro, this mouse is just chilling. Okay, I'm telling you, man, the things that you see in Skirmish are goofy. Case in point. Case in point. Camping mouse, boat tortoise. Yeah. Okay, well, GG. Yeah, that happened. Okay. I now have an invite, so I'm gonna hide the screen as I get everything set up. But we've got Hated Purple now. So let's set up the scoreboard. Okay, I hate how it keeps playing the Windows noise. That is quite annoying to me because it bothers everyone else as well. They're like, oh, is it my computer? Or if you're on an iPhone or something, you wonder like, oh, why is that a thing? Also, this game's starting early. I just made that. I just realized that. I almost missed that game. I didn't even see what map it was. I'll do my map intro. I put in the math of the 3 minutes when I should not have. New Bay. Okay, we're gonna do our New Bay intro, I guess. Yeah, I did not realize that I almost missed that game. I put in those 3 minutes of delay thinking that I was okay, but the game started at 35 for me. So I should not have played a new game. I'm lucky that we got out just in time. But anyway, going over the map here, we're on New Bay. And it looks like Purple is going to be playing New Bay with a more heavy base lineup. They've got a Mouse in B, Sinks all by his lonesome over here, a VK72 also on the team. But Sinks is going to be capping B here thanks to a hated bounce for the reset. And it looks like Purple's also going to be taking A, but I think, yeah, Hate is just going to go straight for the push here. They've got 2 60s, 2 Chieftains, 2 IS-7s, so running exactly what the other team was doing before for the most part, adding in a bat chat. But yeah, Sinks is just going to be immediately shot out here, but Boom Boom, along with Sinks, are going to be focusing down Zaza here, and Sinks does fall, but Hated bled quite a bit for it. And they're all together here in the B base, so they do have 2 caps, but they've got many low hit point tanks here. And despite them getting a kill, Purple is now here with the HP advantage by well over 1,000, nearly 2. And Hated is going to go for a push here, but Chieftain not running his reactive armor. He's going to take a couple free hits and just get himself deleted here. Yeah, a bit of a congestion here. Ghosty blocking Slime and Tobiyashi from moving forward. And Chris Boom Boom's actually going to be able to back out here, and Hated's going to be very exposed to get the kill here. Slime does get in the kill, but now Purple's going to put in some big shots there as well. They did pick up Ghosty, as was previously said, but look at the Krons coming in from behind here, going for Zaza, who's trying to back all the way out. And his Chieftain, he gets picked. Plus is surrounded by a couple hated tanks, but he should be able to pick up the kill on Slime if he hits this shot, which he does. And now it's a 5-on-4. Boom Boom should be able to get the pick on Plus if he keeps his shots. If he aims them true, but no, he misses the kill on Plus, unfortunately, which means that is an extra tank Hated could have picked off, and now Boom Boom's just going to die for it. In fact, Boom Boom's already dead. So him missing that kill is absolutely vital here, and it's now a 5-on-3. K911 will fall in a moment here. Tobiyashi will get the pick up. And Platter rules a little bit by his lonesome, but he's just going to back out and reload while the rest of the Kronvons from Purple come in. Checks his full health, which, by the way, I didn't go over roster lineups, tank lineups, but Purple ran 4 Kronvons. They believe in the Kron on this map, and I don't necessarily blame them. They took them mostly to the ramps, whereas Hated came mostly in for the town here, which is why we do see the Kronvons fighting in the town, but they're especially suited for being on the ramps, which is where Purple originally did take them. But Tyrannos will go down. Tobiyashi does pick up full Platter, but he is the last tank remaining. He is going to be surrounded by several Purple tanks, and not really a whole lot he can do here, other than die for time, I suppose, but where's the fun in that? Down goes Tobiyashi. Game 1 going to Purple. This is another best of 3. And there we go, Purple with the first one. I don't know if Purple has a new logo, by the way. This is the one that I'm currently using for them that they've used in the past. They may have a new one at this point. If it's an anime girl, I'm not using that one though. Kek W. But here we are. Game 1, a win for Purple. It was very convincing as well. Those Kronvons just hated. Couldn't deal with them, I suppose, although really they just bled too much on the opening kill, going for the kill on the Mouse there, which Mouse is an interesting tank. Mouse got buffed in armor and DPM, so it's got better gun now, and it's actually a tank that you don't want to leave alive for too long. I mean, it's not amazing DPM, but it is competitive for a tier 10 heavy. And of course it has the armor and the hit points to survive for a long time, so the fact that Hated went for that tank, well, yes, it's a tank you do have to kill at some point. They bled way too much doing it. Could have been more efficient with the kill, but this is an interesting lineup from Hated. Hated running 560 TPs. This is not a tank I expected to see in the meta. It did get an alpha damage buff, and alpha damage was already what made it quite good, along with its armor and mobility, of which I don't remember if that got tweaked too much or not, like in a noticeable way, but no, 4 60s and 3 IS-7s. Okay, fair. Purple keeping the 4 Krons, but now for their heavies, it's 2 VKs, an IS-7, no bat chat. Did they have a bat chat last game? Maybe they did. I don't know. I didn't really go over the lineups last time because I was scrambling to ready up. But here we go. Game number 2 about to begin. Again, this is a best of 3. Here we are. And I'm curious to see if if Hated's going to make the obvious thing that you would do with those tanks by going to just like BC in the town, because to me those don't seem like ramp tanks. I don't know how you can compete with the Kronvons there, especially now that Hated sees Purple's lineup again in its 4 Krons. Yeah, I don't think Hated wants to go over there, and they're not. They are going straight to B into C likely as well. And Purple doing similar themselves this time, going for the ramps here, which offers a little bit better map control, but not the cap control that they want. They're not even sending a single tank to C this time, where last time Sinks was by himself. This time, they're not doing that at all, but the VKs are lined up an initial bleed out here, and they do hit Tobiyashi. I think one tank hit Tobiyashi, and then another Kronvon hit him, but look at these Krons. Oh my goodness, my camera kind of bugging out a little bit there. They were all just lined up here. They got there in time. Of course, the Kron did get a recent mobility buff from 10.3, and my camera is indeed bugging out. But that mobility buff was useful, and it allowed it to get in position. But look at Hated. They are not waiting at all. They're immediately going for the pushes on the double VK, which is a very well armored tank. Although Hated Slime is bouncing shots of his own, it just looks like Hated didn't commit to this, and now Slime's just going to get himself caught for it. He backs around, and he actually does pick up the kill on Sinks, but again, Hated is bleeding way too many hit points for what they're doing here. And they've already lost a tank of their own to make up for it. Tobiyashi, Zaza, Ghosty, and Boom Boom already on half hit points as well. And the Krons from Purple are just pushing right around. Platter is going to find a little bit of resistance now, but Ghosty, Zaza both incredibly low, hanging on to life just barely. And the rest of the Krons are coming in, and they are full hit points, and they've got full clips. Not full hit points necessarily, but close to it. And Hated's still focused on getting the kills on Frisco Boom Boom, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but he just bled too much in the first place. But now, yeah, Chicks and Willy going to just pull right in here to all of the Hated tanks grouped next to each other. Ghosty falls. Zaza will quickly fall. Platter's going to focus on Zombie instead, as he is low hit points and doesn't want to expose himself. But Tobiyashi gets picked. Down goes Zaza, and Uncle Chicks does get killed himself here. It's a 4-on-3. But Hated's down a lot on the hit points, and even though the Purple Krons don't necessarily have much in their clip, they've got hit points, and now they've got guns as well. The IS-7 will be good for putting in consistent fire, while the rest of the Kronvons are reloading their clips. Now Willy's just going to start putting them in. Down goes Zombie, and this will be a quick 2-0 here. Purple with their brand new team off to a strong start here. Tyron is putting his gun up to signify defeat, which was imminent either way, but does pick up a kill at the end. And immediately after picking up the kill, Hated saying GG, and that's that. Willy trying to block Plus from getting the kill, but Plus is just too good. And that's a 2-0 from Purple over Hated, who are going to go back to fighting Ace once again. But here we go. Congrats to Purple on the 2-0. Platter on top with nearly 4K. Those Kronvons, just something that Hated did not have an answer for. Also, our new room Ace Hated. We're going to be Faust for the first game. Good to know. I'm going to go ahead and back right out here, and we can get that scoreboard set up for when we do join that room. I can get into chatting. So whoever is doing the predictions, Purple has won. Congrats. And now we're doing Ace Hated immediately, and it's going to be in 7 minutes. I will check the exact time just to be safe for you mods, but the game will be, it will load the exact time. I don't know. It's not loading. At 9:50 plus 3 minutes, so 53 is when the prediction must end by. 9:53 Eastern. Yeah, I was expecting that set to be a little bit closer just because, you know, Hated, even though they kind of have a newer team in terms of some of their members, they have been a consistent team over the years, whereas Purple has had some time off. And they've definitely only been a shell of their former self ever since the Leverage team left Purple. And this was back even before, like, fall of 2021. This was, like, winter 21? Spring 21? I don't even remember when it was exactly, but that's when the Leverage team left Purple, I believe. And yeah, because they were Purple's main team. The Purple team was called Leverage, but then they just made their own clan entirely, calling it Leverage instead, which, no, and then they've been a really strong team ever since. They won 2 seasons. They've been top 4 for 3 Blitz Cups now. Strong team. And Purple has not really had a good performance since. They've made top 8, I think, once or twice, but we're never any close to a top 4 performance, which the former Purple team was able to do. I think it was Blitz Cup 2021. No, so they hadn't split up at Blitz Cup 2021 yet, because that was the Purple team, I believe, but when they were in Leverage. But yeah, since then, not a whole lot. That's what she said, saying, "What the fuck am I watching? Aren't you literally on that team?" Flowers for Graves saying, "Yo, GG Purple. You're literally the same person on 2 accounts, aren't you?" That's funny. Anyway, we've got Ace Hated here. Faust is the map for games 1 and 2. And once again, Ace is going hard with their chieftains. They ran 3 of them on Hellas, which didn't work out quite well, but they had split them off from the rest of the team, which is really weird because those are like spearhead tanks with the current meta, I would say. I mean, I wouldn't call them spearhead tanks because their armor is bad, but they do have reactive, which is, you know, what you would typically expect a spearhead tank to run. But Hated not going for the chieftains. They're going for 95 E6s. 140s for DPM. That's a surprise. It's a good tank, but I didn't expect it to be in comp because they can't really hold their own too well. But if it's pure DPM that you want, then sure, 140 could work. It's a bit of a better brawler than something like a Leopard. And then an IS-7 and a 215 beat around things out. Okay. Respectable lineup. I can appreciate the fact that new tanks are being used this season. Even though I'm not a big fan of the changes overall, I thought they were kind of thoughtless, in my opinion. I can appreciate that there is a new meta, which is less cancer than the last meta, so we'll see. I guess as the season unfolds and once we watch these like top 4 teams playing, we'll see what they really think about the meta. Here we go, 30 seconds until this one begins. Take a drink here. Got my Arnold Palmer back, you know, sitting in my tank. As you know, this is how we run the tournament streams. Like always. 4 chieftains for Ace, actually, not 3. That is funny. Anyway, y'all, here is the intro for Faust. Here we go. Ace Hated, the rematch. Last time it was, in fact, Hated that won. It was a 2-1 victory, so it did go to tiebreaker. We'll see how this one goes. Ace is once again splitting themselves up, but it's not too much. It looks like just 1 tank capping C. That will be Nago, and then Hades to spot the middle. Hated's going to be doing something similar, actually. Zombie capping D, and then Zaza on top. Immediately, it looks like Hated is taking their mediums over to the A corner. And seeing as there are no meds on the Ace team, they were able to get more aggressive and take the side immediately. But look at Hades. He's actually not just spotting B. He's capping B. Immediately going for that base grab, which is a gamble, but it paid off. He does get spotted by Blue Danube, though, and he was a little bit tunneled. He wasn't looking at the fact that Blue Danube was indeed spotted, but Tyrannos looks like he might be turning around to go for him. But Hated is going very aggressive immediately. 95E6s with their solid DPM, and the 140s coming in as well. Will Ace be able to hold? Tobiyashi takes some early bleeds here, but Poseidon lit on fire. And in come the 140s. They're going right for Poseidon, but Tyrannos is already taking big hits. But they've turned a lot of the Ace tanks around a little bit, which has made things a little awkward. Danube is able to get out of there. No, did he fall? Did he drop? No, he hit something and didn't drop for some reason, which allowed the team to pick him up. Tobiyashi falls as well, although Macho getting picked. Now Gladiator Killer's chasing Tyrannos, so a bit of a weird play from the Hated 140s, and they are in fact the first tanks to go down. And Ace does have a tank advantage, a hit point advantage. Make that 2 tank advantage here, as all of the Kronvons, sorry, not all the Kronvons, all of the Chieftains seem to have gotten their guns in the game quite well. Down goes Slime. It's a 5-on-2. Several low hit point tanks for Ace, and Zaza does pick off one of them, but Hades is still full, and he's going to face Hug Zombie. Bit of an awkward play in my opinion, blocking him from the rest of his team, but quickly correcting that, getting around Zombie, and he will now be the source of focus fire here. Diego missing his shot, but he should have the kill here. Does get it. And a quick push from Hated here at the very beginning of game number 1 actually does fail, because some questionable 140 play, in particular from Tyrannos, who drove right in, drove right out, but didn't actually bail. I don't know if he hit a wall or whatever it was, but he didn't drop. No, he was just backwards. He just wanted to stay instead of backing up. I don't know. It was very questionable. And it gave Ace the win, although they were looking good regardless. But yeah, strange play from the 140s. You definitely want to get in with your spearhead tanks first, which in Hated's case was the 95E6s and the 215B. But instead the 140s getting in there as quickly as they did definitely hurt them, and Ace was able to pick them up quickly. You're not on that team. Oh, did you... The last I saw you were on the roster. Did that change? Maybe that changed. That could be wrong. As I know Flowers, I know you are, that's what she said on Discord. So I was very confused by that. Because when I received a list of Purple's roster, you were on the list. So unless that's changed, which I guess I didn't really look at their roster, it's possible. We'll try to look at it soon. Anyway, here's game number 2. Ace is up, and they are going to be running 4 Chieftains now. Hated will get rid of their 140s. It was a bit of a attempt at an aggressive push, but did not work out as you see, so they're going to be going back to a more standard lineup that you've seen from them so far. They've got their 95s, they've got their Krons, putting in an IS-7 Bat Chat and a Chieftain of their own in as well. No, getting rid of the Bat Chat. Okay, fair. So we're going to be seeing no light tanks on either team here, all heavies, although a lot of them are heavy I should say, like 95 Chieftain, you know, more mobile heavies. IS-7 could even call a heavy I suppose. I would. Even though normally when I think of heavy I think like the Americans and the Brits, but IS-7 counts, considering how quick it is. But here we are with game 2. Will Ace 2-0 Hated, or will Hated force a tiebreaker? Either way, this is do or die for both teams. If you lose this, you are out. And if you win this, you have to fight Purple for a chance for day 2. So only one team makes it from each group again. Sold E6 in her credit, yikes. No buenos. Oh, Draconic's here. What's up, Draconic? Welcome to the stream. Shalom. Here we are, y'all. Game 2. This time Hated can't make the mistake of having their mediums push early, at least, you know. If you have no mediums. Hades is again going to go for a quick cap here from Ace. He's going to get into D, Slime into C. The 95E6 is the faster tank, so we will see a quick Hated lead for the cap here. But both teams are otherwise going towards A, but it seems like Ace is wanting to play further back. What is Macho doing? Unless this is just the position Macho's taking? No, I was in fact lagging out. He teleports. Okay. Either way, 95 E6s from Hated, as they are running 2 of those. Those are faster than any tank on the Ace team. So Ace is actually forced to stay back here, and once again, Hated taking corner of A, although this time Ace doesn't have a sneaky B cap here, so Hated will maintain the cap lead, and all of their tanks are forward. Most of them are spotted. That's 5 tanks spotted, the other 2 being 95 E6s. But no, Hated's going early aggression again. Tyrannos fully forward here in the Kronvon. He will take a hit. Clicked on the wrong guy. Oops. He's going for Diego here. He's going to pull forward even further. Take a hit here, but Diego's in some trouble. The rest of Ace is backing him up, but they are not putting in as much damage as Diego's taking. 1,700. Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice Hade's coming from behind here. But Nego's going to jump right on top of them. Oh my goodness. Hated's going extra aggressive here, and the Chieftains from Ace are all kind of hiding behind the hill, trying to deal with the tanks in the corner. Tyrannos is quite low, but he's not dead yet. Gladiator's getting absolutely nuked. Activates his reactive, but it's too late. Ace has to go for the counter push here, but Nego is getting 2v1'd. They have to go for a play here on Zombie, who's going to be the initial focus fire target for Ace. Macho should pick him up. Drives over the hill, so it makes his gun a little bit more awkward. But they'll lose Nego as well. Gladiator will fall soon as well. 3 tanks down for Ace now. Only 1 for Hated. Things are looking very good for them right now. Poseidon, who's a little bit behind me on the camera, does fall. 6 on 3 now, and still no clean way to get a kill here. Demiurgo's going to go for Tyrannos, but that's a 630 alpha damage shot. If they used if they used Macho to get that kill, maybe it would have been a little bit smarter, but no. Now Demiurgo, after getting the kill, has a 15-second reload. And in that time, Hades is already going to go down, and it's too late now. 5v2. Just put in a shot at this point. It does not matter. It will make no difference here. And down goes Demiurgo, and it is just Macho left against 5. And we will see another tiebreaker here between Hated and Ace. These teams much more evenly matched than I may have originally thought. I thought that we were going to see an even matchup between Hated and Purple, but instead it is Hated Ace that is more competitive. Not something that I expected. Never on the roster at any point playing with leverage only. I see. I don't know I mean, I wouldn't doubt you, but that's just the roster that Sync sent me. But fair enough. I wouldn't doubt you, I suppose. But here we are. Here's the tiebreaker. Hated Ace. The map's going to be Vineyards. Oh, this is an awkward map for a tiebreaker. Vineyards coming back to the map rotation after being removed for the last season. And because now Wargaming is doing map rotations, which is, in my opinion, a little bit strange. But it's cool, I guess. But Vineyards is back. I think it's an awkward map to have as a tiebreaker because the spawns are quite unbalanced. I think Hated has the spawn advantage here by a big shot. Vineyards is known to be a map where South spawn has the advantage just because you can get a lot more map control. Just because most of the low ground is on is on South spawn side, which is Hated's side. So it's going to be a little bit awkward here for Ace. They're at a disadvantage in terms of the spawns, but that's not to say they can't win it. But 4 Chieftains for Ace. They're just going to be sticking with it. 2 Krons and an IS-7. Hated still believe in those 95 A6s. To be fair, I don't think they were the issue for Game 1. That was the 140s, which they have gotten rid of, which, again, good idea in my opinion. If you don't know how to use the 140s, don't use them. But 495 E6s, they're just doing what Ace is doing. So they got 95s for Chieftains, and they've got a 777 for the IS-7. But here we are, y'all. We'll go for the Vineyards map intro here. Cut to the roll. And here we go. Perfect timing to our tiebreaker. I see a question in the chat on Chieftain versus 95v6. 95v6 has the mobility, and Chieftain has the reactive, as well as better HE. A Chieftain can actually HE several of the lightly armored heaviums from the front, including 2 and 5v Chieftain. And I haven't tried it on a 95v6, but that may be possible. I don't remember how weak the 95v6's lower plate is. But Chieftain is a great counter to other Chieftains because they can Hesh each other, and reactive armor does not work for HE or Hesh. So it's a quick way to tear through those tanks. Anyway, it looks like Ace is going for A here with their Chieftains. And 95v6s from Hated are immediately going for map control, taking the corner of A. Also getting hauled down as well. They've put in shots into Nago here. And looking at the Kronvons from both teams, they are opposing each other in the encounter cap. But Demiurgo is pushed a little bit too far forward. Uh-oh. Rip Demiurgo. He's gotten tracked out. Hated is immediately going for a rotation on the side. He's dead. It's over. Ace just bled a tank for free. Nago's still not looking quite happy himself. He's got a dead crew member. And Zaza's not looking too good, but Hated have 4,000 hit point lead by the time that Ace does get their kill back. Nago is not looking too good. Gladiator's not looking too good. Danube takes a few shots of his own, and he may fall, but not before 2 of Ace's tanks get picked up. Down goes Blue Danube. But Diego is now the source of focus fire here. Whereas Ace is going for Zombie, and that HE is putting in work. He will get picked off quickly. But now Macho is the target. It's a 4-on-3, and the 95v6s don't have slouch DPM themselves. It's not that far behind the Chieftain. And look at the mobility showing here. The fact that Ghosty is basically able to circle Poseidon there just shows the difference between the two tanks there. You can see it. Mobility. That is the difference. Ace picks up the kill, but it's a 3-on-1. It's too late. Gigantic mistake from Demiurgo. It did cost Ace that one. Absolutely costed them. And yeah, not really a whole lot to break down there, to be honest with you. But that's that. Hated wins 2-1 over Ace. And that's that, I guess. Yeah, quickie. I mean, that shows every single tank is important, right? A 7-on-6 is very difficult to come back from. Especially in a brawl like that where an extra gun matters so much. But yeah, tough game from Demiurgo, and I would give him a dunce cap, but we're not going back to the training room. We're going to a completely new set, which is going to be Hated Purple once again. I will quickly join the room because we just got the invite. Purple Hated, purple on the left, Hated on the right. Good to know. I'm just going to go to this scene right here while I get that set up. Purple, Hated, and yeah, we can take a look at the tournament together to see what time we need the predictions to be set. Looks like it's going to be 10:09 plus 3 minutes. 10:12 is when we want the predictions to end. Also, I suppose in this time, for one, I'd like to take a look at the purple roster. Willie, Keenan, 1 Chicks, G3, Platter, Sinks, plus Fruit, Chris, and Andrew. And let me I want to compare that to what Sinks sent me. But I don't know if I have that. I'd have to disable my, yeah, I'll just do it. I don't care. Yeah, so I see Elemental, Sam, which I don't know who Sam is. Plus G3, Chris, Exo, Sinks, Chicks, Fruity, Andrew. You're right. You're right. You're not, unless you were, yeah, no, you're right. I'm thinking of something else then. My bad. I was mistaken. Maybe that was the leverage roster that I was thinking about. You're right. I was mistaken there. Mabi. You were just in the purple clan, I think, for a while. Anyway, that's what I wanted to look at. But also one other thing I wanted to show is how all the other brackets are doing right now. So we can quickly take a look right now. Grand finals here, Origin THL with K8 being knocked out. Group 2, 7 ALC versus Zen. With Vin knocked out. Okay. Here, Gosu versus the winner of Kraken Ghost. 7-7X versus Naps with BLKTM out. Reggie versus Love Your CCRS. I should zoom in. Ponda. Ooh, Ponda and MM in the same group. That's tough. One of these guys is not going to make second day. That's crazy. Poor MM. Leverage BS with PT2K out. Straight INQ with Covet out. Purple Hated, as we saw. Joker VU with WHSS out. Ella versus Nexo Tier. Kurga versus Crocked with Cursed out. Okay. Interesting. I didn't realize that this was going to be a group where Ponda or MM, which are both two top 8 teams in my opinion, potentially. MM has the potential to make top 8, I should say. Maybe not that they're guaranteed top 8, but they had the potential in my opinion. But that is unfortunate for one of them. It would be a big upset if MM kicks Ponda out on the first day, but anything can happen, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead in-game now, see if we can join that room, and we can indeed. And we are on Vineyards once again, going right back to Vineyards, interesting enough. So we will do so. Vineyards going to be the map for games 1 and 2, so I guess we introduce the map again. Yeah, why not? Very different lineups. This time Hated is using purple sauce right against them. 4 Kronvons, or as we saw both times that these two teams played, it was purple running 4 Krons. They're running IS-7s now, a 121B, a 140, a Super Conk, and a Chieftain. Interesting. And then Hated running their Krons off with 2 types and a 777, so reminiscent of old meta with the Type 71s, but it's still a good tank, so I understand why that they're using it. It's a good one. But purple rocking the 121B and 140. Maybe they will use it a little bit better than Hated did on Faust. If they just don't lead push with a 140, which is basically the worst thing you can do with that tank, considering it can barely take a beating, then that should be really good farm. That tank has some of the highest DPM in tier 10 now because of the buff. Only thing it really lacks is the alpha damage. Anyway, here is the role of Vineyards. And here we are, 0-0. Purple Hated forgot to update the icons. Just realized that. There's Purple's icon back. They are not ace, although the colors are similar. But here we go. Purple immediately stepping into the B cap with their meds. Gonna take the cap lead, something you can do from south, in addition to just having great map control by having all of this area to work with, where Hated doesn't really have nearly as much area on north. However, the nice thing about having Vineyards now is that both teams will play each spawn at least once. Well, they will play each spawn once, so, you know, it's not like one team is guaranteed to have the worst side and only the worst side, like what just happened to Ace, unfortunately. But, yeah, immediately the cap lead for Purple, and they're also taking the map lead as well. Ghosty's going to try to go for a base cap, but will he get reset? He is pre-aiming the IS-7, who's going for the reset. He does get the reset, actually, with a quick HE shot, and G3 might sneak a shot in as well. Now it's a track shot from both him and Andrew. Platter could try to sneak something, but no, he's getting shot in the side. K911 Chicks both putting in shots. Because he's already taken a beating, and he wasn't able to even grab A for it. So Purple's just got great advantage now, and Hated is going for a quick push through the middle. They are quite spotted, but look at Willie all the way in the back here. A very baity position here, and the fact that Hated was pushing for him, they're all going in the open here. You can see Zombie's taking a lot of hits. Undefeated's lost a lot of his hit points. Yeah, look at Zombie here. He's just taking a beating. And is it really worth it? All you're doing is killing this guy who's just on the edge of the map. Zombie's got an empty clip. I like what Willie's doing, pushing him forward so that the rest of the purple team does have shots, and Willie does pick up the kill. And Purple's also going for a play here on Ghosty over in A. And yeah, Ghosty seems lost. He's not even looking at either of the tanks that are circling him right now. Blue Danube's going to try to help him out, but it's a little bit too late for that. Ghosty is already very low. Platter going to have to get out of the way just to try to allow the shot in from Willie, but he goes down. Or was that G3? I don't know. But Ghosty falls, so it is actually a 5-on-5. Hated is doing quite well. They're able to bring things back. They lose a tank, but they are up on the hit points. And Slime has a full clip he can put into Andrew here. However, Tobiyashi gonna get himself farmed out here. He's in between two mediums right now. Zaza missing the kill on Chris Boom Boom. Will pick it up eventually, but now we have two empty Krons right here in the middle. Zaza, actually all three of them are empty right now. Slime's about to put in his last shell, but Chicks gets a quick kill on Tobiyashi. Look at the DPM on this tank, and he's just going to have a free farm on Zaza. They're both going to try to go for Anju, but I don't think he's going to have it in him. Zaza fixes his stuff, but yeah, Chicks with a quick kill on Slime here. Anju's going to pick it up, but the farm on that 140, that's a great late game tank to have. Zaza puts in 2 shells, but look at that. Chicks is on such good health. Blue Danube may be looking good against Platter here in the 2v2, but there's no shot that Chicks loses this to Zaza. The 140 is just too good late game. Purple did a good job of keeping him alive and forcing his other tanks to fight out. Will Blue Danube be able to get the kill here on Platter? Doesn't really matter either way. He does pick up the kill, but in comes Chicks. Blue Danube's just going to try to hide. Not able to do it. Nice shot from Chicks. Going to give game 1 to Purple. 140. As I mentioned, excellent tank. I wouldn't be surprised if Chicks did upwards of like 4,000 damage that game, just farming that one away. He did miss a couple of shots late game, but I don't think that's what costed them that. They just pushed all the way across for the kill on Willie and took too much for it. Yeah, 5.3. I mentioned 4k damage. He did over 5. And 4 kills as well. Excellent game from Chicks. That would have been close to an ace tanker in a pub game. He did it against a top team. At least a high-level team. Maybe not a top team anymore, but a high-level team. Purple taking game 1 there. No problem. Game 2, the spawns will flip, so now Hated has an opportunity to play from south, and they're pulling out a 140. They seem to like to do that. They like to take the opponent's sauce and try to use it. And to be fair, they did get somewhat close last game. They did have the hit point advantage in the end. They just couldn't convert it on the tanks. But we do see a 140 here. Hated's going to try it again. Didn't work on Faust. Will it work here? But interestingly, we're seeing Purple run a T100. That's not a tank that I expected to see a whole lot anymore in the meta. I feel like the 140 just kind of outclasses it now, and then if you want it for camo, just run a Bat Chat because it's got the camo and the view range. But I guess they have a reason to use the T100 LT, and I respect it. It's still my favorite tier 10 in the game. I find it very fun. I just didn't expect to see it in comp meta anymore. But Purple will run 2 Krons with their T100 and a 140. Hate is running double 140 now. Okay, 2 of them. 3 Krons, 295 E6s. These are interesting lineups. I'm happy to see some new tanks in the mix, even though at the end of the day, Kron Von IS7, not quite new, but it's something, right? It's something. Will Hated get the quick 2-0. Oh, this is a best of 5. Oh, this is a best of 5, y'all. I thought this was a quick best of 3 and done. This is best of 5, guys. So, a minimum 3 games. That means we get to see a second team at least. Well, here we go. Thanks to people who supported Ace. Hey, Ace, congrats on a good day 1. You guys are looking pretty good. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Happy to see y'all take Hated a tiebreaker twice. Y'all did a good job. Thank you for competing today. Hope to see y'all do well in the next Prove Your Skill. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're using the T100 LT to cap A. Okay. Some camo and a little bit faster than the other light tanks in tier 10. So it's just for that extra speed. Interesting. Chick's also getting an early shot on Undefeated here, but yeah, Purple's just going to grab the base before Hated's even in position to do anything about it. Interesting. Okay. So purple just wants the early cap lead here. Now they're going to dig down. They've got the Super Conquer. They've got the double Crons. IS-7 to C as well, but he's not capping it. Look at the sneaky play from Willie. He's going all the way around here. Platter kind of going a little bit forward here. He's going past the line in order to get shots into Hated Zombie here, and he's going to reload his shot and potentially have a full clip to dump in here. And G3 is supporting him as well, but now look at Willie going all the way around, and he's going right back to the position that he was in last game, but on the other spawn. That is hilarious. And Zombie's just caught. Yeah, look at this sneaky play from purple, sneaking all the way around with 3 tanks. K911, he's toast. Yeah, he's done. He can at least put in another HE shot. Ghosty does actually bleed half of his hit points for that. And purple is looking incredible right now. They just pushed right on around. Creative plays here going around through the town. Andrew all the way in the back. Slime's going to chase him down, but I don't think that's the play. Now the 140, now one of their DPM tanks is just gone. They do pick off G3, but it's a bit late at this point. And now in comes the DPM from purple. I'm just going to drive over the hill to mess around. Go for the kill on Ghosty instead. Tyrannos down. And meanwhile, we've got yeah, Slime dealing with Andrew. I don't really think that's something you can do with a 140. The 140, while it does have nice DPM, you know, the Chieftain has good DPM as well, and it has reactive, and it has Hesh. Not really a good 1v1 you can take. And now we're just in a 5v3. Tobiyashi undefeated, not looking particularly healthy, but I don't see this going any other way than purple's way right now. Zaza, the focus fire target. Now Tobiyashi's going to drive forward. It doesn't matter who's getting shot at this point. It really doesn't matter. Tobiyashi's next. And undefeated will be the last tank left alive, but game 2 will go to purple as well, winning on both sides of an unbalanced Vineyards map. And they said GG's. I don't know if they realized that there is, in fact, another game here, but there is another game. I originally thought it was going to be a best of 3 as well, but then I read it. It said best of 5, so it's not over yet. And Hated's making moves. But we are on Lagoon now, another new map, although this isn't really new for the season. It did exist last season. It's just a new map. This is one where I'm curious to see how the meta evolves with the re-emergence of medium tanks into competitive. We're seeing, of course, the 140 so far here, the Bat Chat, even the T100 LT being used a little bit. There's a lot of mobility tanks, STB as well, but it doesn't seem like purple's using any of them, in fact. Even though I feel like Lagoon's a bit more of a rotational map than others. I guess maybe other teams understand the map differently than me, which it makes sense. I'm not the competitive player. I'm just here to watch and to show y'all. But they will bring one 140, which I can understand. At least having one mobility tank could be nice. Hated making their own picks, and it's Type 71s. They're going back to 2022 meta here. Oh boy. 60 to yeah, this is 2022 meta, guys. We're evolving, but backwards. 140 of your Leopard. Yeah, the 140 Brawl is better. Leopard can't take many hits. It can also get HE'd. And it's way bigger. It just depends on how you're using the tank. Yeah, 5 types potentially and 2 crons. 3 crons and 4. This is 2022, y'all. And purple with 2 VK72s. I like what I'm seeing. A little bit of old versus new, but... Oh no, I should be doing my Lagoon intro. I'm gonna have to get used to this. I'm not used to doing this. This is something that I've added new to the stream this season. But I do like it. I appreciate Wargaming sending me these video files. Here we are. Game 3, purple with the 2-0 lead. Bringing their tanks to A. Chick's going to do a middle spotting run, potentially. This is the spot that commonly used in pubs by many. It was kind of the day 1 meta, but it's quite effective. There's nothing that can make it to A without getting spotted. Unless, of course, the 140 has horrible view range, which I don't think it does. Although I don't remember most view ranges of tanks, except for like high view range ones like the Bat Chat. But instead, Hated is bringing their Kronvons to that spot, which is very strange. Immediately stepping into B with their types. This is a very, very weird positioning here from them, and Purple's going to be able to shoot down into them. Chris does get spotted. Uh-oh, don't fall down. He gets tracked. Does fix it. I think it would have been smarter for Hated to delay those shots there to try to get a perma-track going. So I'm guessing Chris Boom Boom only has one repair. Yeah, you can see he's not fixing that track. He's perma-tracked now. If Undefeated can put another shot, which I don't think he's going to be able to. No, he backs up just in time. But yeah, Hated could have played that a little bit better going for perma-tracks here, but Chris Boom Boom not looking quite healthy. However, the rest of Purple is here. Also look at the sneaky Chicks play. He's going in the side. That's going to turn a couple heads. Hated's going to be like, okay, we need to kill the 140. They're going to turn a couple tanks around. Potentially? No, they're not even do that. And Chicks might actually just have a free farm here. Yeah, Zombie's going in for a YOLO kill on Boom Boom, but he's dead. He got killed. They're putting in one shot. Chicks is around the rear. K911's on the rear. And what's going on this side? The types and Krons from Hated are pushing in, but Tobiyashi just gets himself nuked. And the main brawl here, Chris goes down, Zaza goes down. So 2-for-1 trade there. Not worth it at all. Undefeated's not looking good. This is just very awkward here for Hated. Just pushing in a little bit too hard and not getting enough out of their push. Andrew's going to be able to pick up the kill here, and look at Chicks just floating around. He can go wherever he's needed right now. Hated's too busy dealing with these giant super heavies from Purple to deal with the tank that they should be dealing with, which is the 140. And I especially like how Purple is waiting to use him until the Kronvons from Hated unloaded their clips, because once the Kronvons unload, it's like, how are you going to kill the 140 now, right? Doesn't make any sense. All three Kronvons just not able to do anything to the 140, and that's just a very quick game. Less than 3 minutes long, most likely. Hated slimed the last tank left alive for Hated. And yep, G3 says GG's. Andrew says, I thought it was best of 3. Yeah, he did. Yeah, we all did. At least I did. But that's that. Purple with a 3-0 over Hated. They're going to make it to day 2. Congratulations to Purple. RIP Hated. Y'all had a good set today. Playing against, Ace. They were quite close. Against Purple, a little bit less so, but it is what it is. Is MM out of top 8 unless they qualify in a grand final? MM's not guaranteed out of top 8, no. But they're not looking good in terms of cups. They could come back in terms of cups somehow, but it would be difficult for them to do so. Seems you're already top 8 as of now based on seeding. You never know. Who knows? But yeah, Purple, congrats to the 3-0. Hated RIP. But there are plenty of more opportunities to, prove yourself, right? It's called prove your skill for a reason. There's going to be 3 of them. And you have 3 shots to qualify. But yeah, that's that. That's the end of Prove Your Skill 1 Day 1. You can take a look at the other groups, I suppose. I don't know how many of them will be done, because this was a quick 3-0, and I'm not sure how many groups will be 3-0s, but I'm assuming a good chunk of them may be. Just due to the fact that, day 1 seeding tends to be quite one-sided. But brackets are still loading. For some reason, it's taking quite a long time on Wargaming's side, is what I meant to say. I can even show you guys. It is loading. I'm trying to look at what the brackets were, but I guess maybe we can do that in game. Oh, here we go. Oh, show all groups. Here we go. Okay, that took a while. Don't know what's up with that, because my internet looks like it's connected just fine to the stream. Origin moves on. Don't know. 7 ALC versus Zen. Goes to Ghost. 7-7 versus Naps. 777 is, I believe, the old SLG team, or at least parts of them. But they did beat Naps, which is impressive considering Naps was the Challengers winner for last season. Reggie Lovey Honda MM, yeah, MM taking that loss. Yeah, that does hurt. I mean, you guys could win based on grand finals, but on cups, it's going to be hard. Going to be very hard because other teams are making cups from day 2 and day 3. Granted, not that many teams are making cups from day 2 and day 3. Only 12 teams get to do that. And half of those teams are going to qualify for top 8 in a grand finals potentially, one way or another. So I wouldn't say MM's out of it in terms of cups, but you definitely don't want to get bad matchmaking again. That would suck. But Leverage moves on, Straight moves on, Purple moves on, Joker moves on. I love Nexo still going on. And the fact that this was a tiebreaker is impressive. I haven't seen the Nexo roster. And CRGGA Crocked. Don't know either of those teams. Did I see Reggie somewhere? Where's Reggie? Reggie's playing Lovey. Okay. That was a tiebreaker as well. Oh my goodness. Both of these teams could be on the rocks here. That would be bad. But, yeah, I'm not going to stick around for it. I have no idea how long these are going to take. I don't know when the sets all started. So I think that is where I'm going to call it here. So we're going to go ahead and get the raid on started. If you're on Twitch, send y'all off to someone else. If you're from YouTube, well, then this is goodbye. But thank you all for being here. Day 1 of the Prove Your Skills for the fall season. I will be streaming as much as I can. I will be missing Prove Your Skill 2 day 1. I will be out of town for that day. So Saturday's PYS day, I will be gone. But I should be able to cover everything else. But you guys will figure that out. When you see that there's a PYS and you see that I'm not live, that's going to be why. But yeah, that's about it for me. So I'm going to start that raid right now. And yeah, hope to see y'all around. And yeah, hope to catch y'all tomorrow for PYS 1 day 2. So yeah, as always, stay safe. Happy tanking.